All right, hope you're all well. I wanted to tell you a bit about this machine because it's quite a special one. For a start, the condition of it is incredible. So I was alerted to this by another collector because he knows I'm into this kind of thing. I'm into sort of older commercial vacuums, and I snapped it up pretty quickly on eBay. It wasn't cheap, but you know, it's my birthday week, so I thought I'd treat myself. It's a BVC. So BVC, or British Vacuum Cleaner, is widely considered to be one of the oldest vacuum cleaner companies in the world. They've been around since the turn of the sort of 20th century, sorry, 19th century. And they're still going today. They're owned by a company called Quirepace today. But BVC as a brand is still going. They're still making industrial vacuums. You can find out a bit about the history of BVC if you do a Google search. So I won't go too much into that, but BVC have been around for a long time, very long time, well over 100 years. So this is a BVC. Strangely enough, it's a BVC that was made for Victor, which is another industrial floor maintenance vacuum floor buffer company that have been around since, I think, the 1940s. Victor have been around and still going strong today. They supply industrial and commercial vacuums. So this is a bit of an unusual machine because I had no idea that BVC supplied Victor with their vacuums around this time. So this particular machine was BVC's sort of smaller commercial machine, and these were originally introduced in around the 1930s. And believe it or not, it's still a current model. You can still buy these new. I've actually got a modern one that I use for work. So they're coming up for nearly 100 years old now, and as far as I'm aware, it's one of the oldest vacuums still in production. A very simple machine. It's just a metal tube, very solid. This particular one's from the mid-70s, from around 1975. There's a few sort of date stamps here and there, but the bags that came with it are all dated March 75, which is about right for this machine. So yeah, it's quite an unusual one. Just showing you the instructions there. But the nice thing about this one is it appears that it was used maybe once, twice max, and then put back in its box, and has been in storage. So it's pretty much as new condition. As you can see, it's absolutely beautiful condition. There's not a mark on it. All the chrome work's still nice and shiny, which is really unusual for a commercial machine because most of them were used and abused and then sort of dumped. So to find one that's actually in this condition is pretty incredible. So this is an EV21S. I think the S stands for silent. It's got a noise reducer on the back, and it is very quiet. There was an EV21B which had a blower port as well. And like I say, this model has been around for a long time. They're incredibly expensive to buy sort of new. You're looking at around £1,000 for one of these machines now. They're handmade to order, but throughout its time in production, this was a very popular machine with sort of government authorities. They were supplied to the Army, Navy, Police. I've actually got one of these that was supplied to the Navy, new, in very good condition. I'll show you a picture of that in a second. Very popular machine in its day. Before the sort of introduction of more modern sort of tub vacs, these were sort of one of the most common sort of commercial machines you would have found in sort of shops, offices and schools, sort of local authority buildings and stuff like that. But sort of towards the mid-80s, when more modern commercial machines from sort of Premier, Pneumatic and other companies sort of came along, I think these were considered to be a bit old-fashioned by that point. They've still sold steadily. Even now, speaking to the people at BVC, apparently they still sell the odd few, which is incredible really. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you a bit about the history of this machine, because it's quite a nice sort of special machine to have. It's not going to be one that I use regularly. It's going to go into the collection. It'd be a shame to use it really, because it's so original. But yeah, there's the BVC Victor. So it's all its original tools. I mean, the quality of them is amazing. That's a wooden hard floor brush. The tools are very common to sort of domestic BVC, Goblin machines as well at the time. They're made in the same factory. Obviously Goblin and BVC were one and the same. Goblin made the domestic appliances and BVC made the sort of industrial machines, but they're the same company. So there you go, there it is. Let's take a look at it in action.